Suzanne Peltikian. Suzanne is a super passionate lover of her fellow humans and the process of personal transformation. She's a peak performance coach and global speaker whose dream and purpose is to raise the consciousness of humans one human soul at a time. She believes the biggest real estate that everyone owns is the one between their two ears, and her goal is to inspire people to create their life by design by using their minds more effectively. I am very pleased to have her here with me today. Welcome, Susan. How are you?
Dr. Dentico, thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here with you and with our audience and to make a massive difference for them. Thank you so much.
Great. And please just call me John. I only use the title doctor on two occasions. One is when I'm putting in proposals for speaking, and the other one is when I'm making dinner reservations. You get a good table every time, let me tell you. In any case, and by the way, happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you. And it's so happy because I get to be here as well and to make a difference. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. So let's get rolling, as I like to say. Susan, why don't I begin by asking you to tell me a bit about you? Where did you grow up, and what in your mind were some of the fundamental influences in your life?
Great question, John. Thank you so much. I would say growing up, the number one game changer has been my dad. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and I've always wanted to do what I do right now, to be of service to our mankind, and I never believed in myself. And till this day, John, he's the one person who has always believed in me, and thanks to him, we get to be here.
Great. Great. I know you spent a great deal of time in the world of real estate. What inspired you, and I mean, maybe a little bit redundant here, but what inspired you to make the change to a life or mindset coach?
Not redundant at all. And it's really part of my story. I've done a lot of things also in addition to real estate. But the fact that I did real estate, although I enjoyed it and I loved serving my clients, was for the same reason that I didn't believe in myself and I didn't really know who I was, John, which is a lot of what I get to share with our One World right now. And that was the main reason that I think I had a path of various jobs and various business or being in different things like real estate and mortgages, because I didn't believe in myself. So I was just looking for the solution outside, not knowing that the solution is always within.
Great answer. And what I have to ask you, because of what you just said, what was the moment like? What was the catalyst where you, in a sense, you flipped the switch to take you to where you are today?
I was asked this question the other day. It was the first time. So you're the second. It's the first time we're doing this live. It was not on a podcast, and I said there wasn't one specific thing in what I share with the world, John. It's the law of attraction, mindset, really getting to know who we are. We keep attracting people, places, and circumstances that show us what's going on inside, because I teach a lot about the conscious and subconscious mind, if you will. Outwardly, I seemed very confident. I seemed as bubbly as I am right now. I seemed very positive, but it was a lot of toxic positivity, if you will, until I did the work, right? And it was people that I kept attracting in places and circumstances that got me present to the fact that, hey, there's stuff in there in your subconscious that you're not even aware of. And one of my favorite mentors, I don't know if you're familiar with him, is Bob Proctor. He was in the movie The Secret. He passed away 3 years ago this time. He would say that the only difference between each one of us is awareness. And I didn't understand what he even meant by that. And now that I get it, not here in the conscious, because everyone tuning in is super smart, super intelligent. They're going to get us on the conscious level. That's 2 to 5% of our results and what's driving the show. But to get in our heart of hearts, to get in the body and the subconscious mind, which is the 95 to 98% of our results, and right? So I got, not here, but here in my heart of hearts, who I was, and that awareness was all there was. I started doing more and more work, but it took years of the inner work to finally say, okay, I'm making the decision. But if I had to pin it to one moment in time, it was right before COVID. So it's actually exactly 5 years ago, sometime this week, that I made one decision, but I had no knowingness of what the results would be, other than, of course, I would thrive, but not in the way that I have, thankfully. I made one decision that I would retire from real estate. I didn't know what that even meant at the time, and it was this #1 Remax worldwide, bless them infinitely, exceptional souls that are all about service. The owner and his son filled up all of my coaching spots during COVID because I had just made a decision that this isn't how I want to serve. I'm aching, I'm not being used up, and I really need to get out there and really serve with passion and purpose, which is what I teach.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think COVID. There's no doubt that COVID had a worldwide effect on people, and I'm not just necessarily talking about their health. I'm talking about their souls, their sense of purpose in life, where they wanted to go. Is this all there is? All those questions come up. So I understand that. I get that. And now we're living in this world where we're still in the residue of COVID, if you will, the aftermath of COVID. And added on to that, of course, now is the revolution in artificial intelligence. So a lot of this now is just, it's unbelievable how changed. It's so rapid, the change. It's so incredible. And I tell people, I say, you're not going to believe this, but I've been waiting 30 years for this moment in time, because I was with a group of people 30 years ago. We were really engaged in looking into the future of leadership. What's leadership got to look like in the future? It's not going to look like it looks today. In many respects, I've waited for this change because I think the ideas that I've had over the course of the last 30 years have now come to the fore. They're on the table, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works itself out. But anyway, let me get on to the next question if I can. So let me ask you this. If you had to characterize the kinds of issues people have when they come to you for help, okay, are there two or three that stand out in your mind? The ones that are repetitive and keep coming up. What kind of issues do people bring you as a mindset life coach?
This one I haven't been asked. This is fantastic, John. Thank you. So the main reason they normally come is to earn more, to use the law of attraction to earn more. And earning money is a byproduct of who we're being. There's infinite supply. There's an abundance of money once we get to know who we are. I think the reason they come, John, is not the reason they think they're coming for, if that makes any sense. I love what you mentioned there about COVID. Although I do really believe we're still dealing with the aftermath and the effects, it created a lot of awakening in people. They're like, is that all there is? And I love your theme for this year's particularly. I think I mentioned that in an email to you. It's meaning being the new money, right? And the new currency. I love that because people are actually now hungered to look for, is this all there is? Like I go to work and then I come back home and I teach people to get into excited and curious about themselves, to know who they truly are so that they can actually create by design because they're already co-creators. So to answer your question, they come to manifest money, if you will. And what they get is so much more. For example, I don't plan on becoming a mother. So many moms and dads have become better parents. They're way happier. The side effects of doing the work, right? And we know with the law of attraction, joy is the key. When you feel good, you will actually attract all that which you want. Furthermore, and you're more fun to be around. Furthermore, what is the other way than to live life and to have fun today? Because this is truly what we have, is the gift of today. They come to earn money, I find, but really it's stickly because I'm all about holistic. They become better in all areas, and the basis of the work I have the deepest privilege to do with them, John, is Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. So we're working on their beingness. And once we do, that's it. It's Michelangelo's David. Isn't David? It's John D'Antico. It is Nikki Billou. I hope I didn't slaughter his name. It is Sam Smith, Susan Paltekin. Once we understand that who we are is a limitless soul, and now it's not about running after the money. It's about removing the layers of who we're not. And so it's a lot of unbecoming. Then, well, everything we want. The same way we are super powerful manifestors, we were manifesting the lack. There is no lack. Lack is a man-made concept. All there is abundance. Abundance is our divine birthright. Now, all of a sudden, when they remove that, they're unleashed. They're now attracting to themselves people, places, and circumstances that are in vibrational harmony with who they truly are, their true authentic selves. I hope that resonates.
No, that makes, I'll tell you, it makes great sense. I had Nikki Billou on from eCircle Academy, his startup, and you and he are on the same plane, because Nikki said his father taught him that it's not a numbers game. It's all about people. And once you understand that, as you say, once you get to the inner part of that sensibility, that, you know what, I'm here to do what I can to help humanity or help people.
Yeah.
That's what I think. My mission statement says, you know, my job is to help people live a more productive, prosperous, and meaningful life.
Amen.
So the whole idea is that you do that and the numbers eventually will come your way, because people want that. Oh, I was just thinking when you were talking, one of the things I do every once in a while, very covertly, by the way, quietly, is look at the faces of people in the supermarket. So when I walk into a supermarket, looking around, and I ask myself, who's living a good life? Who's happy? And who's not? Because it's right there. It's right there on their face. So it's very interesting to me that, and you know what? People don't want to be around sad people or people who see the negative side of everything. Believe me, I can tell you. But they want to see how much they want to be engaged in a much more positive look at life. So I get exactly what you're talking about. Let me ask you this, Susan, if I can.
Of course.
Tell me about this in a little bit more detail, if you will, the services you offer to clients. What is it that you do?
Absolutely. And if I may,
you could,
sorry, go on.
To help people live a more meaningful life. Let me ask it that way.
Thank you, John. I didn't comment. I wanted to thank you for your services. And I love that podcast with Nikki. It was dated yesterday. I just got to see it today. I don't know if that was, and I loved it. And I saw a lot of similarities as well. And it truly is about service, because without service, there's nothing. You create all the millions or billions or trillions or whatever the amount is, fill in the blank. If the inside is empty, there's just nothing else. And then once you actually get to know who you truly are, and you have that deep love, because he mentioned the word service. For me, service and love are one of the same. I believe who you are is pure divine love. You're pure liquid love. You're a walking miracle. That is who everyone is. We are all one. And I am so excited to be here to share this, because service and love are one of the same. If we are aware of that, back to awareness, then we can actually serve our mankind, and we don't make it about ourselves. Then like attracts like in the law of attraction. If you're serving, that you've been nothing but of service, by the way, you're now attracting people that want to do the same and want to be the same. Does that resonate 100%?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I absolutely. Yeah, you're going to be around. People will be attracted to the energy that you have.
Yes.
And good or bad. I mean, there are people who are attracted to the bad energy too, I suspect. Yes. But there are people who, and that's okay. That's their thing.
Yes.
Provided they don't do anything to harm others. There are people who live in a constant state of sadness, I'm sure. And you have to, and the thing I've learned in my life is there's nothing I can do necessarily to get them out of sadness unless they make the commitment to do it themselves. Yeah. They've got to get themselves out.
Yeah.
And you can't make someone happy. You cannot make someone happy, no matter how hard you try. Believe me, I've been down that road, and it just doesn't